In a castle older than memory, where bloodlines hold more weight than loyalty, a new queen rises, but behind every smile, a knife awaits. The gods have chosen their vessel, but divinity comes at a cost. My daughter sits the throne, but I command the court. In games of loyalty, only traitors survive. This is not a story of heroes. This is Ironblood.
Council Chambers. Morning.
And while trade from the southern ports remains consistent, the grain tariffs imposed last quarter have weakened the flow through the river Vale.
And the merchants in Calder still report heavy losses due to brigandage on the high roads. If we do not reinforce the eastern patrols, we risk further decline.
They speak as though their voices carry weight, but they glance to me after every point, seeking approval, measuring the air. My gaze flicks across the room, pauses on him. I won't look directly, just long enough, letting my eyes brush past his face, like testing the edge of a blade. He still sits poised. Is he watching? He's leaning slightly forward, not too much, just enough to suggest interest without intrusion. When I glance, he meets it, not boldly, not submissively, deliberately. He sees me, more than the others, not with reverence, not with fear, with intent. And somewhere deeper still, beneath politics and pageantry, something shifts. There's something about this one, like flint buried beneath velvet, familiar in the way a trap feels before it springs. Lord Kalen! All heads turn. Quills freeze. A breath held. Marin Hill rests along the western ridge, does it not?
Indeed, Your Majesty.
A smooth pause, measured breath.
Harvest yields from the outer ridge have held steady, and we've redirected shipments south along the Karish line to avoid the heavier conflict zones. The merchants mutter, of course, coin likes calm, as they say, but we have managed.
Karish. Not Karish, as the Westerners pronounce it. Not Karish, as the Lowlands do. He said it like the border clans say it. Sharp on the first syllable, soft on the last. Like someone raised near the Iron Divide. That word just shifted the weight of every word he said before. And every word that comes next. Practiced, polished, but not perfect.
Well spoken, Lord Kalen.
I finally meet his eyes. Just once. Just enough. Now I know where to look. They think the meeting ends when I leave, but the true conversations begin once the doors close.
Your Majesty.
Send for the court cartographer. I'll see him before second bell.
Yes, Your Majesty. At once.
And send word to the West Tower. Tell them the speaker will attend me in my solar before dusk.
Of course, my queen.
The map will tell me where he's from. The speaker will tell me who sent him. Assassins speak with blades, but my ghosts whisper in full sentences.
Ah, luncheon in the courtyard, where truths go to die beneath silver forks and silk fans. I stride across the flagstones, boots crisp, cloak draped just right. A few nobles turn, smile, offer polite nods. Time to hobnob. Time to nod too often and say nothing at all. They speak in flowers. They gossip like it's strategy, and not one of them has ever tasted blood outside of roasted pheasant. As I take my place in the tables and take seat, a plate is handed to me. Roast bird, fig slices, goat cheese. I lift my goblet filled with wine and sip, and there she is, the queen. Blinking, her image, unbidden, returns to me like a vision drawn in oil paints with an iron brush. Not a girl, not even close. I see her in my mind's eye, still, composed, her back straight in her black trousers and blouse, her eyes calculating and unfazed. A woman, wholly and truly. Hair red like autumn fire, but not untouched by time. Just at the temples, a brush of white. The spoils of battles won. The scars she never bothers to hide. I sip again, still watching nothing, still seeing everything. There's grace in her, but not softness, not weakness. Ferocity distilled, like a blade that's learned how to walk. But I catch myself and I smirk at the thought suddenly seeping into my mind. But this isn't what I was sent to see.
Lord Caelan, you missed the scandal at breakfast. Apparently, the Earl of Goldmere's new bride fainted during prayers. Far too much lace, and not enough air.
I suppose if lace could kill, the church would be a graveyard. And now the game begins again. Smiles, chatter, listening between the lines. More laughter. They accept me. I flash a smile for the polish. Pretends. But beneath it all, she lingers. The queen, carved into silence, and my mission suddenly clouded.
And I told him, if your tailor thinks crimson flatters you, he must be blind or paid not to speak the truth.
Crimson is only for blood and men trying too hard.
Well said. May we embroider that on the Earl of Vale's wedding cloak?
Careful, Caelan. You mock the wrong color, and next thing you know, you'll be haunted.
Oh, don't say that. You will scare poor Alric again.
Don't. Don't even joke. You know how he gets when anyone mentions her.
Her? What scandalous creature have I missed? Or is this court cursed in more ways than just fashion?
It's an old ghost story. The woman in white, some say she walks the halls at night, pale, silent, dressed in mourning. Others say she's a dream, or a trick the servants use to keep each other quiet.
Ghosts? And here I thought the only phantom in this castle was the one seated on the throne.
Caelan, hush! If the queen hears that, she just might have your tongue plated in silver.
Oh, I'm certain Her Majesty doesn't listen to ghosts or guests. I let the laughter settle, then gently, precisely. Tell me more, though. This pale lady, has anyone actually seen her?
Only the drunk or the doomed. Servants talk about her, mostly.
They say she doesn't speak, just walks. Glides, really. Sometimes in the East Wing. Sometimes near the library tower. Old castle nonsense.
They laugh, but they fear her, because they know something about this castle isn't right. And now I know. Ghost speaks without speaking, and I've heard her. I sip, hiding the edges of my focus. Queen's face flickers again in my mind. Not the iron mask, but something else. White, silent, mourning.
My sister's maid swears she saw her once. She says the white woman looked sad, like she wanted to be seen, but didn't dare. Or maybe she was trying to warn someone.
Luncheon fades behind me like a perfume in a cold wind. The nobles retreat to their shadows now, to talk money, affairs, territory, and scandal without painted wives at their elbows. I walk, measured, hands loose at my sides. Cool air kisses the back of my neck as I turn a corner. It's the part of the game where the masks slip just enough to drink. Karish, not Karish, not like I rehearsed it. My jaw tightens. I stare at nothing, just the polished stone ahead. I had practiced that accent until it blistered my tongue, until I thought in it, dreamed in it. I slipped on a stupid, simple word. Did she hear it? She didn't react. No twitch, no raise of the brow. But that doesn't mean she didn't notice. I smooth my coat, compose my face, and straighten with a practiced calm. Let's hope that isn't my undoing. Gods know it wouldn't be the first time a man died from a single misplaced word. She didn't seem to notice, from what I could see on her face.
Kalen, you're late. That means you poor.
I'd be honored, but only if the bottle is older than your last mistress.
This was my father's room, a place where kings came to pretend they were just men. Sunlight streams through crimson, blue, and amber glass above, casting shifting colors across the dark wood and my pale hands. He'd stand here for hours, silence wrapped around him like armor that no blacksmith could forge. I breathe slowly. The table before me is scattered with maps, old parchment curled at the edges, and names that I know all too well. The Iron Borderlands, mountains like broken teeth, villages tucked into the jaws of wolves. I trace one with my finger, a small mark, Nerith Hold, birthplace of shadows. Beside it, a separate parchment, detailed annotations of known assassin guild movements, tribal names, mercenary bands, unconfirmed safe houses.
Your Majesty, the speaker has arrived.
Bring them in. The speaker, not a seer, not a priest, a listener, one who hears the truths people bury in their silence. You've read the names? Do any of them sound recently awakened? No answer yet. The speaker watches me. They carry themselves like a priest, but speaks like something older than gods. I turn slowly from the maps. My gaze rises and meets not eyes, but the smooth folds of white linen, wound tight across a face. No expression, no breath. Tall, still. Their skin, where visible, bears the sun's touch, faint and ghostly, like warmth remembered by something that cannot feel. Pale, yet not lifeless. Scarred with old sigils etched deep into their forearms. Markings meant not to be read, but understood. They do not speak, not often, not unless the silence can no longer bear the weight of truth. And yet, no one forgets what follows when they do.
The mountains have whispered their secrets upon breezes to me, my queen. They tell of the guilds of old breathing new life into husks of dead hideouts, wolves and bones of wolves.
So, the whispers were not shadows. The guilds stir. How many? Which banners?
2 bear new breath. One seeks coin, the other something colder. They wear no sigil yet, only silence stitched to skin.
I fold my arms, composed, but my breath stills for just a moment. Is Kalen of these mountains? The question hovers in the solar like a sword suspended midair. A pause. The speaker tilts their head again, listening. Not to me, but to something deeper, ancient, from beneath the room.
Not Kalen, my lady, but Zevir.
And then I told him if he couldn't shoot straight with a crossbow, he'd best try throwing insults.
Gods, Kalen, remind me never to hunt with you. Your tongue's sharper than your blade.
Blades rust. Wit is eternal. Another round of laughter. Glasses raised. I lean back, my eyes casually scanning the firelight, and I shift tone just enough to redirect the current. You know, it's strange. For a castle this old and storied, I expected the halls to hold more mystery. But then someone mentioned a ghost at luncheon. The woman in white, was it? The room stills, just slightly. One noble scoffs loudly, trying to shake the sudden chill.
It's just a myth, told to servants to keep them in line. Same with children. Behave or the ghost will get you. She doesn't exist.
My serving girl said she saw her once, a few winters back, walking the upper halls. Only a flash, but enough. She still won't take the east corridor after dusk.
The room tenses in a way men won't admit aloud. I lean forward just a touch, sipping from my glass, letting the silence breathe. Funny, the things people see when no one's looking.
I've seen her.
All heads turn. Man, older, red-cheeked, but usually a joker, now stands with his goblet at his side, no smile on his face.
Not drunk, not dreaming. I wasn't looking for her. I was looking for, company. Near the library tower. I was heading toward the servant wing, you understand. Late. She was there, white as moonlight, glowing like something not quite real. Her hair like fire, but not the queen's fire. Something softer, warmer. She looked at me, and she smiled.
He swallows. His voice drops.
And then, she kept walking. By the time I turned the corner, she was gone.
Silence. Not disbelief. Uncertainty.
You sure it wasn't the queen herself?
No, this one had something else in her eyes. I think it's her sister, a twin, died young. That's why no one speaks of her.
Murmurs. A few cross glances. I swirl my drink. My gaze narrowed slightly, heart steady, mind racing. Twin, or truth so dangerous it wears a mask of myth? I finished my drink. Either way, this ghost might be the most alive thing in this castle.
Evening, Zevir's chamber.
I drop heavily into the chair beside the fire, my weight releasing the cushion like tension exercised. I exhale, the sound almost a growl. Gods, it is hard work being something else. I stretch my legs. A boot hits the stone floor with a dull thud, and then another. And Kalen, poor bastard, is exhausted. I lean my head back, letting the firelight warm my face. My eyes close for a brief moment. No danger here, not tonight. Not roots, not mountain air sharp enough to flay your teeth, or sleeping under trees hoping wolves aren't feeling bold. And then I grin faintly, reaching for the wine bottle, taking a swig straight from it and letting the rich spice coat my tongue. This is a perk worth stabbing for. I stand, slip off my coat and then outer tunic, loosen my belt, unfasten the linen wrapping my chest, and then I pause when I see the shirts on the bed. Folded perfectly, soft, simple, expensive. Queen's got taste, and gold, probably enough to drown a few kings. I change into the shirt, and it slides over my skin like cream, so smooth it nearly unnerves me. I move to the window, cracking it slightly, just enough to let the chill in, balancing the wine's heat with the night's cold bite. The bed welcomes me, too much, too easy. My body sinks into the mattress, and for a moment, I'm nothing but skin and quiet breath. The fire crackles somewhere below. A guard coughs into the silence. I turn to my side, eyes half-lidded, and she's there. Not a dream, not a memory, just a face. That hair, like fire. No, not like fire. Like fire remembers something older than flame. Her eyes hold stillness, depth, not warmth, not cold, just knowing. I stare at the ceiling as if trying to read her in the cracks between the stones. Why does she unsettle me? It's not fear, it's not attraction, or not only. I shift slightly under the covers. It's like a pebble in the boot, small, persistent. Every step, she's there. I close my eyes. Finally, the fire fades to embers. Tomorrow, we start the real work. Tonight, just let the birds sing somewhere far away.
I sit cross-legged on a round cushion before the hearth. My posture is perfect. My hands rest lightly on my knees. My face in profile is calm, but not relaxed, controlled, practiced. Inhale, count, 4, hold, still the blade of thought. Exhale, cut through the noise. My breath moves evenly through my body, but my muscles remain tense beneath my silken blouse. This is not rest, it is ritual, survival dressed as serenity. The fire hums to itself, weaving warmth against my bare feet. The scent of jasmine oil clings faintly to the collar of my blouse. The wind smells of moss and damp soil. It should be peaceful, It almost is. What must be done, what must be known, what must be healed, this is what I repeat to myself nightly. A mantra, a promise. Heal what they broke, so they can never break it again. A sudden snap in the hearth, a hiss of flame, and just like that, my mind stumbles and pulled down. No longer with my breath, I am beneath it. Pulsing, a low thrum beneath everything, heartbeat like blood, a blade dripping with it, velvet, red, slashed like an artery torn open in silence. Gloved hands, a throat, laughter, low, guttural, male, eyes, green, gleaming. I gasp, lashes snapping open as if struck. My body rocks forward, nearly falling from the cushion, sweat beads at my brow, and my chest heaves. I scramble to my feet, not frantic, but too fast to be calm. I move with the sharpness of a hunted thing. Then I cross to a basin and dip a cloth into cool water, press it to my forehead. My hand trembles, slightly. That wasn't a memory. That was a warning. I set the cloth down, stare into the fire. Why now? Why silk and wine and laughter? Why wear a smile like armor? I turn toward the window. The wind lifts a strand of red hair from my cheek. My eyes harden slightly. That hair, curling just at the ends. A mountain-born man doesn't wear it like that. It's too fine, too neat. Those green eyes, crystal bright, but there's depth, like something swimming just beneath the surface, something that doesn't belong in the light. His skin, not leathered or worn, but the crow's feet, he's either always smiling or always laughing at something no one else hears. His face is beautiful, but it's a lie. Tomorrow, I will learn just how deeply the blade is buried.
Thank you for listening to episode 2 of Ironblood, a tale of power and deceit. Written, voiced, and produced by Angelina Reardon. Sound design and mixing in GarageBand. Music and FX via Pixabay, Free Sound, and original composition. Like, subscribe, and join the Covenant.